Hello everybody and welcome back to Doodle Empires. Last where we left off is we filled out maritime Southeast Asia a bit with a Java nation, as well as two Borneo nations and a little bit more lore in Indochina, and as well as Medan. I'm not gonna make this a very long intro like last time, so without any further ado, let us begin. Now, if you notice that I sound weird, it's because I just woke up and I'm very tired. But I really want to record something, so let us do it. First nation is Ying, so let's just select it and draw a card. They did not break apart, which is very interesting. Instead, they're getting a small expansion. Now, because they have Pyongyang PU'd, they're just gonna, well, try to grab some islands as well as go over to Pyongyang so that they can actually say that they can control it somewhat without just having to go over there with boats. Next up, they're not gonna really care about Pyongyang just yet. They're just gonna follow the coastline because they heard tales of a nation down here, and they find it. It's Hongsho, as well as them just following some of the rivers. Now, I hope that my microphone is gonna be sounding pretty good, unlike last time where it sounded very robotic because of the filters. But if not, then I am very sorry. Anyway, we have Ying a little bit more fleshed out. Next up, we go to PI. They are peaceful hill dwellers. Peaceful, I wouldn't really say that because, you know, they kind of hate Yangon, but sure. And they're going to be splitting. Okay, well, that's not good for them. So we're going to be releasing the nation of Nom-HCOM. What? Nom-Com. I have no idea where it actually is, like, specifically, because this region over here, the very mountainous area, I just don't have any, like, knowledge. So I'm just basically going to give them where I think they are, and they're, like, somewhere over here, and I'm just gonna give them... Oh no, this is gonna look ugly, but that's fine. Because they are going for a war of independence. That's right. They are definitely backed by Yangon, because Yangon hates PI and Chadogram. So I think this actually makes perfect sense. Please correct me, because I have actually no idea where the capital is of Namcom, but I'm gonna place it here in the meantime. Because they're a new nation, I'm gonna click on them. They're Uniters and Jungle Explorers. Draw a card. They're building a castle. Oh god, okay. They're going to be building the castle of Lauk Kaing. I'm not sure if this is the correct spot, but I'm gonna be placing it anyway. They have full zone of control over their entire nation with that fort, so it's pretty good. Anyway, next up we have Yangon. They're Jungle Explorers and Celis. Never mind, we're getting a new nation. I was about to say maybe they would attack PI because of the weakness that they showed, but instead we're going to be filling out a new area. So we have the nation of Pakatan. They shouldn't be getting this island because the tech hasn't gone to them just yet, but I gave it to them on by accident. But we're basically just gonna fill out the southern area of Borneo. They're gonna follow this river. Alright, these borders are kind of weird, but I'll take it because we're getting another draw card on... Oh wait, I forgot to place down the capital, my bad. There we go, and now we click on them, select them, draw a card, and they're getting a leader who is a Conqueror Hill Dweller. Okay. Alright, next up we have Ye. Last time they obviously took Da Nang. They personal unioned Da Nang after them splitting apart, basically becoming super unstable. But now let's find out what they're going to be doing. I see. Alright, because they don't really want to expand into any northern areas, even though they could definitely body Hanoi. PI actually maybe now as well, even though they have to convert all of this over here to, well, make it more stable, not convert. Instead, they're going to be filling out the rest down here, as well as partaking in the Great Schism. What the Great Schism was, it is basically these two nations plus Ye. They're basically fighting for the control down here. So what Ye is going to be doing is they're just gonna be forcefully pushing in and just grabbing the land that they feel like they want to keep, and then afterwards they're gonna say, hey, we don't care anymore. Well, they're gonna be pushing them down over here as well. Now they're gonna say, we don't care about the rest of the land, we have what we want. Now we're gonna focus on migrating into here, because the great game between Bangkok and Ye has begun. And that actually just gave me an idea. You're gonna make a deal with Nha Trang. You're gonna say, okay, everything on this side of the river is ours, reaching all the way to here, and the rest is yours. We do not care. So they're gonna fill it out, because Nha Trang definitely accepts. I mean, if they don't, they're just gonna get bodied. And now Ye is just going to fill in the rest over here. There we go. And like I said, there's an active conflict called the Great Game between Bangkok and Ye for influence and power in the southern region. All right, next up we have Pai, Celis Hill Dwellers. They are massive, probably the number 2 power now. Definitely Bangkok is the number 1 right now. But they're gonna draw a card and adopt a religion. They don't really care for Yangon, and their ally is Nuea, and they might actually think Nueanism is a better faith than Yangoism, sorry. So they are going to be converting to Nueanism, and that's going to strengthen their friendship so much that they are actually turning into an alliance. That's right, the second great power is allying with a minor nation that definitely can get bodied by any other country around it, like, no, except for Hanoi maybe. Hanoi might struggle. Alright, next up we have Tui Hoa, your conquerors and desert nomads. They're in the Great Schism, and they're getting a large expansion. Now, seeing this small nation, you might think they wouldn't actually stand a chance, but surprisingly, their tactics are very, basically, I'm gonna make them the Prussia of Indochina. I like it, right? I have an idea like that. They're going to push straight for the capital and surprisingly take it, which is a massive, well, issue with, Nha Trang, because that means that they are immediately on the backbone, on the back, they're struggling. That's what I wanted to say. But yeah, they're basically gonna body them, except for in the mountains where terrain favors Nha Trang. But at the end of the day, they do manage to push in to Nha Trang and basically just grab all of it. And the Great Schism, which isn't actually as great as I expected it to be. I thought this was going to be a way long, war, ends just like that, with Tui Hoa coming out on top and being a little bit more greedy and even expanding into this unclaimed land, because the deal was made with the Nha Trang government. The Nui Toa government didn't sign that deal, so they're just gonna grab this, and because both great powers are now angry, they're just gonna say, hey, you didn't sign it with us, okay? You did not sign it with us. But that's all the land they can take, because they cannot fight the 2 great powers unless they wanna get beaten up. Okay, next up we have Kuching. They are peaceful. I don't think so. The game didn't think so either. They're uniters now. Alright, next up we have Shenzhen. They are tolerant jungle explorers. They are getting Nevermind. We're going to be placing down the nation of Davao. And they are around here. I gave them an island again, but I keep forgetting. So I'm just gonna give them islands already, even though they should only get that on their second turn, maybe third turn, when they modernize a little bit more. But that's fine. Basically, these are just a tribe that turned into an advanced enough civilization to be seen on the world map. They don't really have any correlations with any other nations around, because this island hasn't been found yet. The Philippines hasn't been found yet by any other nation. Okay, I'm also gonna give them this, but no more, because I actually like this so far, these borders. And now we place down the capital. The capital of Davao is around here, and now we click on them. They're conquer flatlanders, that's why they could take so much. And we're drawing a card, and they're getting a large expansion. Their boats are advanced enough to reach this island, and even over here, which they can easily walk into as they just start colonizing, or well, migrating into this big island over here. I'm saying island a lot again, just like the last episode. They're going to grab all these smaller ones as well. Yeah, they're getting massive already. Oh my, wait, are they gonna take the entire Philippines in one turn? Oh, I made a mistake. They should not be getting this island out in nowhere. Their boats aren't advanced enough for that. But they're definitely advanced enough to just spread around the Philippines, and even grabbing this big chunk of land as well. Oh my god. They are massive. What the hell? Okay, well, I think we have a superpower in the making, because they have literally no enemies around them at all. But they are very, very, isolated, except for, you know, the tribes that they've killed over here and took the lands from. But yeah, anyway, new nation. Shenzhen. They have the war for independence. Last time Mao Ming had the war for independence, but then they united with Shenzhen after beating the crap out of them. But now Shenzhen is once again, well, is also having a war for independence. I feel like the spread of Nuayanism would come to them, because Nuayanism is an offshoot of Hanoianism, because Nuea was once Hanoi. And they're different, but also similar enough. And the modern world has knowledge of basically this, like from over here all the way to Medan, and then over here to Shenzhen. That's basically all they know so far. So knowing about, you know, Koreanism doesn't make any sense. So they're gonna go to Nuayanism. Next up, we have Na Trong. Wait, what? Wait, they're alive? Wait, what? Where? Oh, over here, I forgot. Okay. They're supposed to be dead, so we're just gonna continue on. We have Dong Ying that are uniters, and they're getting a medium expansion. Then they're actually gonna give Pyongyang a little bit more over here. Up, they basically just kind of want to explore the unexplored for them, which is basically everything. They're gonna follow this river to the end. I guess this scenario is called the Great River Expeditions, where they basically, their goal is now to follow every single river to the end, just to see if there's any other like modernized nation. Obviously there are tribes every now and then that they find, and maybe they just kind of incorporate them into their kingdom. But other than that, they want to find like Hangzhou material, or Seoul material, or Shenzhen material. But they, Donying and every Eastern nation, only knows the world from Hangzhou all the way to Tokyo. They don't know about Shenzhen, Maoming, just like Shadowgram only knows all the way to Shenzhen and Medan, but doesn't know about Hangzhou. But they heard that there might be more in the east. All the while, Jakarta only knows about itself so far. Kuching only knows about itself, and Singkawang. Pagatan only knows about itself, and Davao only knows about itself as well. Next up, we have Pai. They are Zealous Hill Dwellers. Ooh, their origin diverted. Ooh, okay. They no longer say that they came from the Yangon, that they're Yangon, that they have Hong Kong heritage. They say that they have their own heritage, which is definitely going to piss off every single Yongon heritage haver. Next up we have Halong. They are divisive desert nomads. They're getting a small split. Okay. The split of Leisho is the country, not the country, the city of Leisho is going to be splitting off. And just grabbing the peninsula here. And, well, because Mao Ming is going to help Halong, definitely. They probably can't really push into Mao Ming. But they are instead going to desperately try to just get a little bit more land. Leisho capital is around this region here. Oh. And there we go. Because they're a new nation, I would click on them, but they can't do stuff. Am I stupid? What? Okay, they're getting a small expansion. Their boats are definitely advanced enough to grab this island over here, and definitely advanced enough to go over here. And I guess because they can't do anything, and Halong says, you know, fine, just, we're peacing out, we don't care, just do what you want to do, there's nothing that we kind of want, we kind of want to chill, because, like, there's already an independence war that Halong has to help with. They can't just go and fight this as well. It's just gonna be too risky for, like, their own kingdom that might just break apart even more. So they're gonna let it go, which gives Leisho the chance to migrate over onto this island here. So next up we have Pai again. They had too much screen time in this video, so I'm just gonna skip them. We're going to Seoul, they're conquered Tundra Walkers, and they're getting a small expansion. In my opinion, the East is advanced, but just barely not as advanced as the West in my campaign so far. But it's close enough to them finding this island as well. I forgot what the island was called in the real world. I know it has a... It's important. I think this is I think this is Tsushima. I can't... Why couldn't I pronounce that? As well as the king doing a surprise attack on Busan for the southern area here before piecing out after realizing that Busan really doesn't want to get conquered again because they killed a decent chunk of his army. So they're piecing out, but they do manage to get this land here, and maybe even they get this, basically a little bay area here, and that also allows them to find this island here, Tsushima. Seoul is really strong, but definitely not as strong as Dongying, Shizuoka. They might be stronger than Tokyo, but, you know, it's too risky for them. They can't really do anything in this situation, except for now they can go ahead and colonize Japan instead of the Japanese colonizing Korea, so that might be fun. But anyway, we have Pagatan, the Conquerors, the Hill Dwellers, never mind. Because I don't want Davao to just turn into a Philippine superpower. I'm actually going to add a small but strong enough to rival them regional power here as well. And that nation would be Dagoo. They are the Philippines basically slaughtering off the tribes all around the Philippines. Davao is slaughtering off all the tribes around the Philippines. Basically pushed all of the running away tribes up into the north, which basically made them all unite together and form Dagoo, basically just as a, hey, we are going to fight back and get our land back. Some of them coming from this island, some of them coming from here, maybe here, you know, just enough people that have a common enemy united together to basically become advanced enough to be put on the map and advanced enough to actually stand a little bit more of a chance against Davao. So they're gonna be basically going onto the mountainous area as a defensive, because it's very defendable. So they're going onto the mountainous area. They are going to follow the river and fill out the rest down here. They're even going to be surprise attacking them over here. There we go. And the final turn is going to be on Dagoo. They want to be peaceful. They really want to. But the only way to be peaceful is to manage the Davao basically sphere of power. They need to be able to push them back enough so that they will never try and attack them. That, and they kind of want, you know, all of their old lands back, like these islands, basically everything that isn't on the main Davao island. And it is going to be, never mind. Instead, this is going to be in the next episode, probably. But instead, we are going to be getting a new nation. That nation is going to be the nation of Fushu. Basically, these aren't tribes. They are instead people who are in the Shenzhen War for Independence and in the Malaysia War for Independence that was very short. They said, screw this area, it's way too unstable. We're moving over here to new lands. We heard that there might be new nations in the east that never been contacted before, quote unquote. But they gave up basically before finding Hangzhou, and they decided to settle down over here. There we go. Set down the capital, which is around here. There you go. There is Fushu. Fushu, what? Fushu, the final nation in this episode. Yeah, I'm really satisfied with this episode, even though I feel like I haven't been as fun like as in the previous episode, because I'm just way too tired. But I'm satisfied with this. We got a lot more lore. We also need to add some more flavor down here. Dagoo survival war. The leader, called Norodom, just basically wants to take as much land as possible because, well, it's a lot of fertile land. And that will make the people stable, because then they can have land upon land, and live luxury. And, well, they know that up here is land, so why not grab more land? I'm gonna use the X to call this a rivalry, because I know Tokyo and Shizuoka aren't really friends with each other. So I'm really satisfied we got to basically get more nations in maritime Southeast Asia, which I always find cool, because I felt like there wasn't anything down here even in the previous episode, but now there definitely is. In the next episode, if we gain new nations, well, we're definitely going to be exploring into Papua New Guinea. We're definitely going to be exploring into Papua New Guinea and this island, which I forgot the name of, this main island. And then probably also maybe making a Siberian nation. So anyway, if you like this video, you can like it. If you disliked it, you can obviously dislike it. I can't stop you after all. If you want to subscribe, you can, but you don't have to. My new goal is reaching 100 subscribers, because I reached 50 subs, and I really want to see that there's 100 people that liked my videos enough to actually wanna like subscribe. That would mean so much to me. But anyway, I hope you guys have a good day or night, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye everyone.